If you thought Lincoln was on a roll a few years ago with new models like the Navigator, the Aviator, and the Corsair, but has recently entered somewhat of a lull, think again, because this is the all-new 2024 Nautilus. It's coming right for the heart of the mid-size two-row luxury crossover segment, coming directly for that all-new Lexus RX, and it's got a lot going for it. A new design theme for the brand, a concept car-like interior, and two powertrains on offer, a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder and a hybrid 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder. Let's take a closer look. Taking a look at the exterior, if you liked those leaked photos of the Nautilus that came out in China late last year, then you're gonna like this Nautilus because they are in fact the same vehicle. All Nautilus will be built in China going forward, which explains a couple of things about this 2024 model that I'll get to in a second. The grille mimics the same one found on the China-only Zephyr sedan. Yes, they get the Zephyr sedan, the one we used to get here that was based on the Ford Fusion. We're not getting that here in the US, but you can see a lot of the design elements from that car shared right here in the front grille, including this LED light strip, the illuminated Lincoln logo, and the rest of the shape of this grille. This one has the Jet appearance package, which gives it this dark black gloss finish. If you don't like that, don't get that package, because otherwise you'll have the shiny chrome look instead. The side profile is decidedly boxier than the model it replaces. The hybrid model like this will come in either 21 or 22-inch wheels like you see here. The regular gas model will only have 19s or 20s. All models, however, have two 55 width tires. If you haven't already, at this point you're probably starting to realize that this car doesn't look too much like the emotive Star concept they showed last year. That is clearly previewing a different model altogether. However, the one thing it does share is this full-width taillight bar that actually droops down on the sides here. You'll also find that on that Chinese market Zephyr sedan. Also notice that no exposed exhaust down here. This is the hybrid model, but even the gas-only model does not have an exhaust pipe. And honestly, I think I prefer that over that weird sort of escape hatch version of an exhaust pipe that Lincoln uses on the Aviator. Yeah, it keeps the chrome clean, but come on now. The 2024 Nautilus is a little bit longer and a little bit taller from road to roof than its predecessor, but it's actually a little bit narrower, and that does change the cargo capacity on the inside just a bit. Behind the second row, you actually have a little bit less space than before. Before you had 37.2 cubic feet, now you only have 36.4. But when you fold the seats down, you actually have more than last year. 71.3 cubic feet of total space versus 68.8. Lincoln has brought back the door handles that are integrated into the windowsill. The last time we saw that was on the late Continental sedan, and I'm really glad to see they brought it back because I think it's a pretty unique touch for this segment. Now, under this hood that I can't open for you right now, we are going with two 4-cylinder engine options, just like this car's closest competitor, the Lexus RX, except that model offers two hybrid powertrains. This only comes with one. The standard gas model is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that produces 250 horsepower and 275 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to an 8-speed automatic and torque vectoring all-wheel drive standard. Now, if you want to go the hybrid route, add a larger battery and an electric motor to the mix, and it'll make up to 310 horsepower. We don't know fuel economy figures just yet, but one thing you should know about this hybrid system is that it's more closely related to the Ford Escape hybrid or even Lexus's RX 350h hybrid, because that is a planetary power split setup with a CVT-like transmission, which means it'll likely be smoother and more efficient than the Lexus RX 500 HF Sport Performance, which features that new 2.4-liter hybrid max hybrid system with a traditional automatic transmission. We'll have to see how that plays out when we get one at home to test, but for now, I can expect this model to be a little bit more efficient than that high-trim RX. Whether it's more efficient than the RX 350, we will have to see. Now you're probably wondering, why is there no Grand Touring plug-in hybrid model like the Corsair and the Aviator? Well, that's likely due to those changes that came with the Inflation Reduction Act. This model built in China would not qualify for any EV tax credit, so they probably felt like it wasn't worth bringing here. Now you know there is supposed to be a Lexus RX 450h plug-in hybrid like there already is in the NX model, but that's been delayed, and the new rumor suggests that we may not get it in the US for the same reasons. So in terms of a plug-in hybrid Nautilus, hold your breath, but don't hold it for too long. Okay, let's get to the coolest part about the Nautilus, and we can really thank the Chinese market for their influence on this design choice. Hop inside and you'll think you're in a concept car. Nope, standard we have this floating center touchscreen that anchors the massive 48-inch full-width display set up in the dash below the windshield. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard, but they can only be accessed here on the center screen. This whole setup enables a welcome show that will really dazzle your spouse or your friends or whoever gets in the Nautilus. Also optional are fragrances for the cabin. As part of the Lincoln Rejuvenate multi-sensory experience, you'll get light shows, pleasing animations on the screens, massages, and fresh smells like Mystic Forest, Violet Cashmere, and Ozonic Azure. The only thing left to mention are the optional 24-way perfect position front seats and the 28-speaker Revel Ultima 3D audio system. Active Glide, Lincoln's Level 2 semi-autonomous driving assistance setup, is actually now going to be called Blue Cruise, just like it is over on the Ford side. But with the Nautilus, we now have Blue Cruise 1.2, which features automated lane changes and in-lane repositioning, which basically gives you a comfortable amount of space between you and larger vehicles in the lanes next to you, like semi-trucks. So it'll just nudge you over to the side if you're next to a large vehicle. So cool features like that are being added. But even if you don't get Blue Cruise 1.2, you've got a ton of standard safety features like adaptive headlights, automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection, rear cross traffic braking, blind spot monitor, and a whole lot more. If you are like me and a big fan of this new Nautilus, head to your Lincoln dealerships right now because the order books are already open for both the non-hybrid and the hybrid model. Both should be arriving in early 2024 in the US. We don't know pricing just yet, but stay tuned for that. We'll get you that information as soon as we have it. And let me know what you think about the Nautilus in the comments below. Do you like the exterior design? Do you like that interior design? And what do you think of the powertrain choices? I'm very curious to know what you all think. Thank you so much for watching, and until I see you next time, take care.